All right, let's address the elephant in the room. Is there too many producers? Is the game oversaturated? Let's talk about it.
Bolo!
All right, before we get started, let's go ahead and give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, which is DistroKid. If you do not have a DistroKid account, you need to go ahead and get one because it is the fastest and easiest way to go ahead and get your songs placed on all the major DSPs. That's iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, Tidal, all that good stuff. Everything starts off around about $20 and it goes up from there. Even with the $20 plan, you can release as many songs as you want in a year. You'll lose a few perks. That's why I say go to that second tier, which is like 35 bucks, and you'll be able to get just about everything you need to get done. And I'm telling you, I have put out music literally a couple days before my scheduled release time, and it popped up. Everything was cool. It was no hassle. And if you have other collaborators on there, you can go ahead and get them paid as well, so nobody won't be fighting over money. So go ahead and click that link in the description and go ahead and get you a DistroKid account right now. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Let's get to the video. So I was having a conversation with some young producers the other day, and they were getting a little fed up because it was kind of hard for them to get placements on big albums and everything like that. But, you know, like me, as I say all the time, I don't chase placements. I like to find new talent and work with new talent and kind of build with that to where they will end up turning into a multiple form of placements. But a lot of these guys really want to get with these bigger artists, and they're saying that it's harder to do it now because there is so many producers. Now, I'm a little bit older in age, but not how I feel. But I am a little bit older, and back when I first started out, it wasn't that many producers, not that I can think of. Because back then you actually had to spend a lot of money to actually be able to produce, unless you already had a laptop, and a lot of people didn't have laptops like that, or you had to have a computer, which even the slowest of the slowest computers built today is actually 10 times faster than the computers that it was back then, and you had to have money to buy those back then. So it was not a lot of people producing, and it wasn't that many people rapping at that time or even singing or whatever, because it took a lot of money to book out the studios back then, because you either had to know somebody who had the money or you had to have your own money to go in some of these bigger studios, because it costed a lot back then. But now with so many laptops out, how cheap the programs are, with all the sounds that are being made, with all of the loop kits, MIDI packs, everything, there is a ton of producers out. And some of these guys are saying, hey man, there's no space. We don't have no space. It's too full. And I kind of feel where they're coming at. But at the end of the day, I actually feel like it's kind of cool that you do have that many producers, because a lot of artists actually have options now. And then now you can collaborate with a lot of producers as well. So if you can't really do really good bass lines, you can go ahead and go to this person. Or if you can't really come up with the melody, you can go to this person, and you guys can go ahead and collaborate on certain songs. Now, what they were saying was that's cool because, you know, between them, they collaborate, but they feel like it is just way too many producers right now. And they feel like it is thinning out the system, basically meaning that you can get this one producer, and then the next album you can get this producer, and next you know you'll be pushed to the side because there'll be so many new producers out. Now, I want to hear what you guys feel about that, because what I was basically telling them is, if you're good, you're good. No matter how many producers are out here. If you are good, you will be able to get songs placed because people will remember great work. That's what I was saying. But they were saying that even though that you are getting great work, a lot of these labels are basically trying to get all these new producers in, these younger producers, these producers who are not really into the game. They'll try to bring them in and get them at a lower rate, so that way they won't be spending money. And they say a lot of artists have been doing that as well too, is like getting a lot of these other young producers and to give them a few bucks or whatever, and then they're happy with the money that they make, and then they can just push them along the side, which I do understand that. But I think once you get deep enough into the game and more knowledgeable about the game, I still honestly feel that quality actually beats quantity. I think people will pay for what they know it is good. That's why certain producers stick with certain artists, because these artists really like how certain producers work with them in the studio and they like the product that they're making. Do I feel like the game is oversaturated? Yes, there is more producers. Of course, the game is a little oversaturated, but I still feel like that if you have the best material, you will be used more regardless of what somebody wants to spend or not. Because at the end of the day, there are some people who want my type of production. Now, I'm not the best producer in the world, but my production fits with certain people better than other people's productions. I've heard several beats from a lot of young guys who are now out right now who have some phenomenal beats, but they just don't fit certain artists. So what I say to a lot of you guys out there who are struggling to get placements, who are struggling to find your way through the game, find your own lane, stick to that lane, and just get better at what you're doing in that lane. That way people will come to you for what you have rather than you trying to make different beats for everybody else. I got caught up in it. I was making beats that I was trying to fit in certain lanes, but then once I started coming back to what I was used to doing and I started getting better at what I was used to doing, a lot more people started coming back on board. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think the game is oversaturated, or do you think everything is fine? And do you think that basically quality trumps quantity? Let me know what you think in the comment section. I want to read them. And if you got something interesting, I probably might respond back. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.